Absolutely. Absolutely. I did not come in here tonight. I did not come in here tonight to be nice. I'm sorry. But I did not come in here to be nice. You guys, listen. I'm going to tell you guys something. PG has been, I have really, really been trying to, you know, turn the table to kindness, love, caring, respect, and all the good things. But, you know, you can only turn that table so far when there's a bunch of people hanging on it trying to turn it back at you, right? You can only turn it so far. And I'm going to tell you, I've been really nice. I've been really nice. I've been overlooking a lot of people. Maybe that's why it's gotten out of control. Because I've been overlooking, right? I'm like, I'm just going to focus. I'm just going to put my focus, you know, on the righteous things, and I'm going to let all this, you know, I'm going to let this hatred just, you know, slide on by. But you know what? It's really gotten out of control. Justice for Summer. Love for Summer. Amen, girl. Amen. God bless. I appreciate your support for Summer's channel here. I really do appreciate you being a member for so long. God bless. But yeah, you know, absolutely. You know, yeah, absolutely. And you know, he comes out and he talks about how he let his boss essay his daughter, right? While he was video recording it. Him and Candace both, they were sitting there laughing, right? Both of them. You heard both of them laughing about letting some fucking old man that they worked for, right, come in and have at their daughter while they videoed it. How disgusting is that? I mean, these two sick bastards have the audacity to come out here in YouTube world and talk about how they let sickos have at their daughter. And nobody did nothing about it. Law enforcement done nothing about it. Law enforcement didn't go, hey, Mr. Wells, we caught the live last night. You sitting there talking about how you let your boss have at your daughter. Well, you videoed it and you sold this video to somebody. I think that right there is admitting that you were trafficking your child. So you know what, Mr. Wells? We're taking your fucking ass into custody right now. We're taking you downtown and we're going to lock your asses up. And Mrs. Wells, you're coming with him because we heard you in the background laughing and having all knowledge that this was being done. But you didn't see Tennessee police running in there and getting them, did you? I mean, I'm going to tell you, if you told somebody at the bar about this shit, then, you know, law enforcement would be arresting this person, right? I'm going to tell you something. I find it mighty suspicious that Don and Candace Wells come right out here in public and literally totally admit to their boss having at their daughter while they was videoing it, and they haven't been arrested yet. I find that pretty damn suspicious. What about you? Put a 1 in the chat if you find that very suspicious. Because I'm going to tell you what. If you would have came out here and said something like that, do you think you would have been in prison? If you had a missing child and you came out here and said some stuff like that, do you think you would be in prison? Just put a yes or a no. Because I think yes. You know, anybody else would have had their ass locked up. Anybody else would have had open up, right? Law enforcement, let me in. We'd have been hearing it, baby. We'd have been hearing it, absolutely. You know, no doubt in my freaking mind. No doubt in my mind. We would have definitely been, you know, we wouldn't have got away with no shit like that. Absolutely not. They just said, look, you know, oh, we can lie to anybody. You just can't lie to you. I know. We're sorry, but when you come out and you make, you know, and you admit to something, like, we don't care who you admit it to, your ass is getting locked up. Right? You got a missing child. And you just admit it. You don't have to admit it to law enforcement. You admitted it to the whole fucking world out here. You admitted it to the whole world, including us, including law enforcement, because that's how it works. That's how it works, right? If Don Wells would have got tape recorded inside of a bar by some friend of his, saying that shit, he would have been arrested and put in jail. Once law enforcement was able to hear it, right? Once they were able to hear it, I mean, how many times does law enforcement put wire? How many times do they wire people up? Times do they wire up a family member or a friend or somebody and send them in to talk to someone and get information that they can use to arrest them? How often? All the time, all the fucking time. Then how the hell are they arresting? How in the hell are they arresting people wearing a wire, right, to get information? But they can't arrest people that come out here and spit it out to the whole freaking world that they allowed some weirdo to come in and have at their child while they videoed it. Tell me, make sense of that, please. Make that make sense to PG, because it doesn't. He went straight on Josh's show and said that stuff, and I don't even know if he knew he was live or not. I don't even know if Don Wells knew he was even live. He may have thought it was just, a and B conversation, and didn't even realize, that Josh had him out there telling everything. But regardless to whether he knew he was live or he didn't, he admitted to trafficking his child, his 5-year-old little girl who is now missing. Somebody needs to ask the news station why the hell he's able to do that. They don't need to send that shit to law enforcement. They need to send that to a news station and tell the news station to listen to it. And please get back with them. Get back with us and let us know how someone's able to do this without being even so much as picked up and questioned after doing it. Right? Because it don't sound like Tennessee's doing their job, if you ask me. And why are they not doing their job? Was there more people that Don videoed besides his boss? Are there more videos? Is that why they're getting away with saying all the shit they're saying and doing all the shit they're doing? Yeah, I think so. That's what I believe. I believe that, there's a lot of sick, fucking weird ass people in this world that, like to have at it with children. And I think Don and Candace was videoing and snapping pictures of everything. I really do. And I think they did it because, when this day came, they wanted to make sure that, they could do what they want to do, right? And get away with it. Yeah, they fouled her big time. And they're fouling Sebastian Rogers too. They're fouling Sebastian just as miserably as they did Summer. They're fouling him too. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm not supporting a couple fucking what needs to be registered RSOs. And that's my opinion. I think Don and Candace Wells both should be registered RSOs because you know what? All the signs show that that's what the fuck they are. A couple pervs, right? A couple fucking perverts. That's what all the signs show. They're sick. Nasty and fucking disgusting. And anyone that can touch a child is fucking disgusting. Anyone that can freaking touch a child and destroy that child, freaking physically and mentally and spiritually, you're a piece of real fucking shit. You're the fucking lowest of low. You're the scum of the freaking earth. Anyone that can stand around and steal a child's innocence or be freaking nasty and disgusting and mentally abusive, physically abusive to a child, you're disgusting. I don't give a damn who you are. And I don't care what reason you're doing it. You're fucking disgusting. God gave you a gift. These children are a gift. He gave you a gift. And you are supposed to be that child's angel, watching over it and making sure that nothing disgusting ever happens to it. You're the one that's supposed to be making sure that no one mentally, physically, spiritually, or any other way abuses your child. You're supposed to protect that child at all fucking costs. And how is a child ever supposed to have trust when it can't even trust the people that it's supposed to be able to trust? That's damn disgusting. And 9 times out of 10, it's the very people that are supposed to be the ones protecting this child are the ones abusing it in one way or another. Who the hell does that? Who the hell does that? I can understand, parents that have to discipline their children. There's a lot of children that are out of control, especially teenagers, that you have to discipline. You have to take their phone away from them, or you have to make them, take their game machines away from them, or you have to, no going outside, right? You got to stay in because you ain't done what you're supposed to be doing. I understand that when kids are younger and they're doing stuff, you tell them 100 times and they don't listen. I understand that sometimes you got to swat them on the backside, right? That's what they got an ass for. You swat them on the backside. Hey, you don't do this. I've asked you and asked you and asked you. It ain't working. This is the last resort. Sometimes you got to smack them on the backside and say, hey, straighten it up. And you know what? Usually that works. Spare the rod, spoil the child, right? Sometimes you got to do what God tells you to do. Sometimes you got to smack that backside. Sometimes you got to smack their little hands when they're little, touching plugs, going over and try to get it to the oven, or, opening up underneath sinks or drawers, or especially you got them at someone else's house and they're trying to get into things and you're telling them no. Sometimes you got to smack their little hand and say, I told you no. Just stop it. And sometimes you got to do a little something. Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. But I'm going to tell you something. There is no cause whatsoever to be abusing children the way the Wells children were abused. There's no reason. You don't sit there and tear your children down. You don't sit there and tell your children, you walk funny, you talk funny, you look funny. You don't tell your kids that kind of stuff. You tell your children they're beautiful. You tell your children that they're perfect, that God don't make no mistakes. You tell your children that the freaking sky's the limit. That they can do anything that they set their mind to. All things are possible with God. There is nothing they cannot achieve in this life. You let your children know how much they're loved and how much they're cared about. You don't smack their backside and just walk away. You smack their backside, you tell them why you smacked it. And that, it hurt you more than it did them. Because you don't want to have to smack their backside. You want them to be good. You want them to listen and mind. You got to let them know that you love them. You care about them. I'm going to tell you, God put those kids on this earth for you to build up. For you to lead and guide with God's help, with His help. You're not doing it alone. You're not doing it alone. God is helping you. And with God's help, you can make beautiful, God fearing, law abiding, very, very helpful in the future adults. What I'm saying is, you can raise doctors and you can raise lawyers and you can raise people who are going to help others forever in society if you want to. You don't have to have a bunch of college degrees hanging on your wall to help your children achieve them. Your children are not you. They're not you. You don't tell your kids, you don't tell your children, oh, just saying. So, just, there was no burner phone. Trust and believe that. Trust and believe that. Yeah, it's true. It's true, Becky. I was there from day one. Absolutely. Summer deserves the truth. Yes, she does. And you know what? She's going to get the truth. She's going to get the truth. She's going to get it here. I don't know about anywhere else, but here, Summer has always got the truth. She will always get the truth. And I will call out a fucking lie. Man, I will stop that mother freaking lie right in its tracks. I would drop that bitch like a bad habit. There ain't gonna be no lies in Summer's case. No lies being spread. Just saying. It won't happen. Not on my watch. This little girl's dependent on all of us. She's dependent on all of us to keep this case strong. She's dependent on all of us to not give up on her. She's dependent on all of us to bring her home and get justice for her and closure for her brothers. Let us not let her down. Let us not let her down. Her last words, her last real words we heard was, help me. Mommy, Mom, help me. Help me. But she got no help. She got no help from that B-notch.